So, welcome to the vlog.
Wait, what?
So, you want to make cookies? You seen some of the photos on the Instagram, on the Twitter, on the Facebook, man. You seen your boy cooking up, doing what he does in the kitchen. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen it, man. And I know a lot of y'all been asking me, how do we go about creating such beautiful, delectable, delicious, astounding, miraculous, extravagant, good cookies? I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all on some game. I'm gonna let y'all in on some trade secrets. Y'all better be happy. Y'all better be happy because I'm literally gonna take you through the whole process of how I make my Smooove cookies, man. So for those of y'all who've been asking, for those of y'all who've been drooling, for those of y'all who've been wondering, man, stay tuned. We gonna get it. All right. We gonna get it. Bruh, we gonna get you baking some cookies. We're gonna step your cookie game up at least a step. Maybe some of y'all ain't got a cookie game. You about to develop one. All right. So pay attention. Make sure you take notes on the phone. Get you a notebook. Man. Write the notes down. I might, should I leave the recipe in the description? Maybe I'll do that. But make sure you pay attention, follow step by step, and let me know, man. Let me know, if you do decide to try, let me know how it works out for you. So yeah, let's just gonna get straight to it. Without further ado, here we go, right here, right now. It's not a reaction video, but come on, let's get it. That would have been a dope transition, huh? Hold up. Y'all ready? All right, come on, let's get it. I wasn't really gonna get up, but come on, let's make some cookies. All right, so before we start, we're gonna need a few ingredients. We'll need some butter, flour, white sugar, brown sugar, salt, baking soda, vanilla extract, some semi-sweet chocolate chips, and a couple eggs. Now, you don't gotta be all extra like me and use a scale, but I like to be as accurate as possible. So, first we're gonna start out with our sugars. Measure out 1 cup or 200 grams of white sugar. Now, forgive me if I poured a little too much. 6 extra grams of white sugar never really hurt anybody. Plus, I'm just too lazy to scoop it out. Next, we're gonna measure out 1/2 cup or 100 grams of brown sugar. This time, however, we're actually gonna scoop out the extra because you don't want to have too much brown sugar. Too much brown is bad. Just kidding. That's a dark skin joke. I'm dark skinned. Don't get triggered. After that, we add our butter. We need 1 cup or 2 sticks. Ideally, you should have left your butter out to warm up to room temperature. Sorry I didn't tell you that in the beginning, but if I did, I wouldn't have any use for the next clip after this. So, assuming you're working with cold, straight out the fridge butter, cube it all up and throw it into the bowl of multicultural sugar. Moving on. Now, head on over to the stove, turn it down to low, and grab you a pot smaller than your mixing bowl. Fill that pot up with some water. You don't need a lot, just enough to get some steam action going. The key here is to keep mixing while the steam is slowly heating up the bowl. That way, you don't have runny, melted butter everywhere. The goal is to cream the butter and the sugar together. I've tried this recipe with melted butter as well, and it just wasn't the same. But feel free to give it a go if you're short on time or if you just can't be bothered to be mixing butter over the stove. Now, after the butter is softened up for the most part, take your mixing bowl off the steam and let it cool back down to room temperature before you add the rest of the wet ingredients. Make sure you keep stirring and thoroughly cream the butter and sugar. Once it's cooled down, add 2 eggs. And yo, don't act like you don't see me cracking these eggs with one hand. Now, after the 2 eggs, add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Then stir it all up and make sure it's completely mixed. Now, one of the reasons why we take the bowl off the steam and let it cool down is because we don't want to cook the eggs in the warm mixture. That's just gross. I don't need scrambled eggs in my cookie batter. So, if your mixture looks like this so far, then you're on the right track. If you've made it this far, I want to personally let you know I'm proud of you. Moving on. Now we're going to measure out our dry ingredients. Start with 2 1/4 cup of flour. I just rounded up to 300 grams. Then add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now you might be thinking, salt? Why salt? Well, to make it simple, salt is a flavor enhancer. We're not going for its salty taste, but adding salt brings out and magnifies the flavor and tones of the other ingredients, which in this case would be the sugar and the chocolate. Once you've got your dry ingredients together, get your handy dandy sieve and sift all your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients. Sifting eliminates all the chunks and clumps and makes for an even dough. Once you're done sifting, use a spatula to fold it all together. No need to be aggressive. Relax. This isn't the time for you to take out some pent-up anger. Be gentle. You don't want to overwork the cookie dough. Be gentle. And finally, once we've got all that incorporated, we're gonna add our chocolate chips. From here, gently work the chocolate chips into the cookie dough. Once it's mixed, cover your bowl with some plastic wrap. I transferred my dough to a smaller bowl because we're gonna put it into the refrigerator for at least an hour before we start baking. This is key. You have to let the dough sit for a bit before you pop it into the oven. I know it's tempting, I get it, but trust me, you want to let the dough set. In the meantime, go watch some TV, surf through the latest drama on Facebook, or try out some new filters on Snapchat. Alright, so it's been an hour and you're ready to start cranking out these cookies. First, we gotta preheat the oven. For everyone here in the US, set your oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And everyone else around the globe, set it to 148.889 Celsius? Just go ahead and round it up to 150. While we're waiting for the oven to heat up, let's get our cookies prepped on the baking trays. First things first, this is absolutely crucial, so don't skip this step. Parchment paper. Parchment paper, y'all. There's a reason why you always see folks on TV and cooking channels using this when they're baking. This not only keeps the cookies from sticking to the tray, but it prevents the bottom of the cookie from crisping up too fast or getting burnt and crunchy. Fun fact, the darker the tray you're baking on, the darker the bottom of the cookie will end up. So in my case, I was baked on a really, really dark cookie tray. Moving on. Go ahead and grab your chilled cookie dough from the fridge and let's start placing dough on the baking sheets. Now, I recently got this cookie dough scooper and it's been a godsend. With the amount of baking that I do, this really just makes the process easier and faster and not to mention uniform. But if you don't have one, hey, it's alright. You can actually ball your dough into any size you want, but just don't go too big. I'd keep it around 1 inch to maybe 1.5 inches. If you opt for bigger cookies, you may have to adjust the bake time. Go ahead and place them on the sheet and spread them out. You don't want them too close to one another. Now, once your oven's at temp, you're ready to set those bad boys. Your oven may be a little different than mine, but after hundreds of cookies, I know these will be done in precisely 14 minutes on the dot. Your experience may vary. To be cautious, take them out sooner than you think, because you can always put them back in, but you can't unbake crispy, burnt cookies. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hurrah! Sorry, I really don't know what that was. Anyway, the time has come. Those beautiful, chewy morsels have done their time, and they're finally ready to come out of the oven. But wait, you can't eat them just yet. You gotta give them some time to cool down and finish baking. I like to set them on wire racks, but leaving them out on the counter works too. So while we wait for those to cool down, here's a bunch of clips of me going through those steps again without all the chatter. Cue typical vlog type music. And yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I mean, there go the finished product. Real thin, real soft. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, hey, Bree, this one for you, girl. Yeah, I could work with that. Anyway, shout out to all y'all who've been following me on the social media, who even knew that I be baking, man, that I be putting in work in the kitchen, man. I guess this is a dope first vlog. I don't know. I don't even know how this is going to turn out. Hopefully it's cool. If not, I hope at the very least, y'all got a decent basic cookie recipe out of it. Just make sure the parchment paper, making sure you weigh out your ingredients, specifically your dry ingredients, the flour, the sugars, and that's it. Flours and sugars. Yeah. Make sure you weigh them out by grams or whatever, depending on it. Weigh them out. And I said parchment paper, right? Parchment paper, it keeps the cookie bottom from burning. Make sure you use that parchment paper. Other than that, man, it's easy. Follow the steps. Make sure you follow it step by step. Don't skimp. Don't shortcut. No nothing. Oh no. Instinctually, I'm just breaking these in half and wanting to eat them. But make sure you follow the instructions. Don't cut no corners. Hey, let me know if you finna try this recipe out, and let me know how it turns out, bruh. That's pretty much it. Hope y'all enjoyed. Love y'all. Toodles. Peace. Bye-bye. Later. Very awkward. Looking crisp. I don't know about all this HD 4K, bro. You gonna see, man, you see all the imperfections, man. I was already ugly, but now I'm ugly in HD. Bruh, I was already ugly. Now I'm ugly in 4K. Bruh, we were supposed to get up and get cookies, but I'm over here trying to mess with the camera. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on.